Thank you. Thank you, Bob. Well, I want to thank Bob for his leadership in not only Iowa, but really in the nation. And I want to thank you. I'm here tonight to stand with Ted Cruz. Let me tell you how bad I want to stand with Ted Cruz. I flew through Chicago. But I thought about it. I was flying through the hometown of the current president so that I could stand with the next president. Now, I believe that there is a special place in heaven for people in Iowa because you have to listen to all the politicians. Now, I can say that because I'm a recovering politician. I spent nearly a decade in office in Louisiana, and I got a little nervous earlier when Governor Perry talked about convicted politicians, because most of the guys I knew, they had to be very clear about the number of terms they served. But I want to encourage you to take it easy on these guys. It's a tough business. I remember when I was first running for office, I was out knocking on doors, and in South Louisiana in the summertime, it gets really, really hot. And I was out campaigning. I got caught in one of those afternoon thunder showers, and I was a little wet, probably wasn't looking my best. And I knocked on this lady's door, handed her my card with my picture on it, my platform on the other side, and she took the picture and she stared at it. She looked back at me and she goes, "My, that picture sure is flattering." So it's a tough business. It's a tough business, so take it easy on these guys. I'm here in this Coalition for Life because there is nothing more fundamental than the right to life. Amen. And we look at what has happened in this country. Let's just take the last 43 years. On Friday, I stood on the Mall in Washington, D.C. for the March for Life. 43 years ago, the Supreme Court declared that a child was a choice, rather than something to be cared for that was made in the image of its creator. That wasn't something that the people decided. It wasn't even something that the state legislatures or the Congress decided. It was the courts. And then we go back to June the 26th of this past year when the court, 5 judges on the court, declared that they knew better than 50 million people when they imposed on the entire nation a redefinition of marriage. Now, when you look at all of the things that we care about, whether it's right or wrong, I think it's wrong that the court decides so many things, but the court is directing this country. The next president will appoint 2 or 3 Supreme Court justices. This issue is being lost on a lot of people in this election. Unfortunately, the court does decide the culture of this country, and it's wrong. It shouldn't be that way. If we had strict constitutionalists on the court, it wouldn't happen. But you know what has happened over the years is even the Republican presidents can't discern a liberal from a conservative. Kennedy, Souter. Have you ever noticed that the Democrats, when they appoint someone, appoint a liberal, they never turn out to be a conservative? Well, I spent 10 years as a police officer. I can tell police officers, all right? I'm not going to point them out, but I can tell the off-duty police officers that are in the audience and the undercover guys. I know them. We just know each other. Ted Cruz is a strict constitutionalist. He can pick them out. If there's one person in this election for president that I want picking the next 2 or 3 Supreme Court justices, it's Ted Cruz. I want to ask you to talk to your friends, to do everything you can to caucus on Monday night for the sanctity of human life, knowing that the next president is going to be putting those justices on the court. And I'm going to tell you what, I know a liberal will not be able to masquerade as a conservative in front of Ted Cruz. he will smoke them out, believe me. Now, this has just been the warm-up act for you. You're really here to see. Come on, help me out. Who are you here to see? You're here to see not only my friend, someone that I have spent time with, broken bread with, prayed with, but you're here to see the next president of the United States of America. Please welcome Ted Cruz.